Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Montez. So I started doing this mini series where I kind of talk about some of the behind the scenes for some of the music videos that I've been a part of, or just music projects in general that I've been a part of. So the last two music videos, I went over some of the behind the scenes for the One Touch music videos. I actually ended up shooting a music video over in some sand dunes in Waynoka, Oklahoma. I actually ended up shooting the second part of that music video in a golf course here in Oklahoma City as well. If you haven't checked those out, I highly recommend it. I love telling those behind the scenes stories, which is what inspired me to kind of do these videos. I find myself always sharing these kind of stories with people, and so I just figured that I would share with you guys. By the way, if you thought that some of the behind the scenes stuff for the One Touch music video was crazy, go ahead and buckle up right now.
Buckle up, Teddy.
So just a quick introduction. My name is Juan David Peñalosa. I was born in Cali, Colombia. I moved to the US when I was about 11 years old. I've actually lived in Vietnam for about a year and a half. I've always really been into music, really been into art, and just being able to share this experience with you guys and just to be able to make really cool music or really cool art is just such a dream come true, and I'm incredibly thankful for it. So without further ado, For the Night music video behind the scenes. So for this music video, I actually ended up reaching out to an old high school friend of mine and one of my closest friends. His name is Eddie Barrios. I always wanted to do kind of like a werewolf type of music video. I've always been very inspired by Michael Jackson, the Thriller album, of course. I've always really enjoyed the 1984 movie Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, which is what heavily influenced this movie. And I actually took some inspiration from Tory Lanez's Enchanted Waterfall music video as well. I actually had one of my close friends from one of the gyms that I go to here in Oklahoma City. Her name is Logan. She runs a company called Limitless Studios, and she actually ended up taking some awesome pictures of that music video, and I think they came out great. I really love the scene in the 1984 Teen Wolf movie where Michael J. Fox is like surfing on the Jeep, and I'm so glad that I got to kind of recreate that scene in my music video, and I'm super happy with how it came out. Shout out to Michael J. Fox, by the way. So we actually shot the music video at a venue here in Oklahoma City called LampPost Lounge. The reason I picked LampPost Lounge is because it has this old school disco type of feel to it that I really enjoyed, and I thought that it really aligned with the vision that I had in my head of how I wanted it to play out. So I actually ended up reaching out to Joshua TripleEight Tullis. Shout out to Joshua for letting us film there. He was totally on board with us letting us shoot the music video there. So what we ended up doing is we got to the venue about 30 minutes earlier than it was supposed to open. Part of the reason why is I definitely wanted to get some shots inside of the club itself, and I wanted it to look empty. I wanted it to kind of feel like it was empty. And I also didn't want a bunch of drunk people interfering with the music video. I'm sure that wouldn't have been a problem, but one of my biggest fears is that somebody belligerent is just gonna come over and like knock down some of the equipment or something like that, and I didn't want that to happen. So overall, the music video, whenever we shot it at LampPost Lounge, it was one of the smoothest videos that we've ever shot. We didn't have any complications. The staff ended up being super friendly. Everybody ended up being super friendly, which I really appreciate. So some of those outside shots that you see are actually out in the parking lot of LampPost Lounge. Most of the scenes that we shot there are at LampPost. The only two that we didn't are the scene where you see me stumbling away from the light. I actually ended up shooting that in my front yard here. And then of course you have the after credits scene. I ended up shooting that in a soccer field somewhere out there during the day. So once again, I brought my partners in crime, Michael, Eddie, DJ Khaled, and I brought my wife Haley as well. And we wrap up the video shoot, everything ends up being great. And Eddie, DJ Khaled, comes up to me and he's like, hey man, do you want to go to a club after this? What are you trying to do? What's the move? So I didn't really have anything planned out. So I said, you know what? Sure, why not? Let's go celebrate that we just shot this music video. It's going to be great. Let's go ahead and go celebrate. So we end up leaving the venue. We end up going downtown and we end up going to Senor Shots, and we're all hanging out, having a great time. And all of a sudden I get this message from Joshua, and Joshua says, hey man, did one of your friends kick down my bathroom door? So at this point, I'm really confused because Yes, I had had a couple of drinks shooting the music video, but then I got really nervous that I was like, oh my God, what if I did it and I just don't remember? So at the time when I got that message, Eddie and Michael were nowhere to be found. And so I told them, you know, I don't know. Can you tell me what happened? Like, what's going on? I was incredibly confused. I was super lost by what was happening. And then all of a sudden, I get a message back from Joshua, and it's a video of Michael kicking down the bathroom door.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
So at this point, I am incredibly embarrassed by what I'm seeing, and I am just horrified. And I immediately text Joshua back and I tell him, I am so sorry about your door. Please tell me how much it's gonna be to fix it. I will be there tomorrow morning. Let me take care of it. I'm so sorry that that happened. Thankfully, Joshua was very cool about it. I think he understood that Michael just had a little bit too much to drink, but the motives as to why he did it were just very unclear at that moment. So I end up trying to talk to Michael to see why he kicked down the door, and I tell him like what's happening. And at this point, Michael is gone. Michael doesn't exist in the body anymore. He's just not there. He's just having a great time. So we end up going home. I actually ended up driving him home, and then I ended up going home. And that night, after I got that message, I had such a terrible time. I don't think I had ever had such a terrible time at a club, because I just felt embarrassed because it was my responsibility that my people went there and that they did this, you know? So finally, Michael wakes up the next day and I call him, and I think he also had seen the messages, and I also sent him the video, and I was like, do you remember what happened here? Like what's going on? And according to Michael's testimony, Michael thought somebody was pulling the door and they weren't letting him into the bathroom. Come to find out, it wasn't a push door, it was a pull door. I think the overall learning experience that I got from this was make sure your friends don't get too messed up. I'm really thankful for Joshua letting me use his venue to film the music video there. I think it really helped to bring that idea to life. That music video, I was going for like a 1980s comedy horror film. I mean, just like the Teen Wolf movie. And I think that having it in that spot really kind of helped me see that vision. Overall, I've had a great time doing these music videos, and I'm hoping that my next music video experience isn't as chaotic as the first three, but hopefully I don't end up sitting in this chair again and telling some ridiculous story again, or some embarrassing story about almost getting kicked out or apparently my friends kicking down a door. I love that I can joke around with Mike about how he kicked down a door, and we always just have a good time about it. Shooting anything related to like music videos or even photo shoots sometimes, I have just learned to just expect the unexpected. If you guys like this type of content, feel free to drop a like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what was one of your absolute favorite moments. If you guys haven't watched the music video for the Night, feel free to check it out. Drop a comment on that, let me know as well. It's in my YouTube channel, but I'll post it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.